Not many lenders do it because it's very risky for the lenders, but we do have a few that offer that program, and you have to have a 680 credit score and be able to put 5% down.
Wow.
That's a nice program right there.
It's a great program. It's a great program. It's just that it has to be able to pay off all of your student loan debt. Some people have refinanced out. Some people have basically gotten a personal loan in order to pay off at least $40,000. A personal loan for if they had, let's just say they had 50, and they got a personal loan for 10 to move it out the way if their credit profile allowed for it, and then they paid off that 40, so they only have 10 left. So there are lots of ways, but if you're thinking about that program, definitely give me a call. I can help you just navigate through it, or I can put you with one of our lenders that actually does it. But it is a good way to eliminate that student loan debt.
Is there a limit to how much student loan debt you can have, or is it all of it? I mean, whatever you have, or is there a max out? Like if
you can, it has to pay off all your student loan debt. So you have to. It's the max is up to $40,000.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right. And the other program that I want to make sure I talk to you guys about is Homes for Heroes. Homes for Heroes is one of our signature programs. And what it does is we give back 30% of our commission to give a rebate to people in hero category. So that's police officers, first responders, teachers,
broke parents,
doctors, nurses, military. And here's the thing. With that, I get to choose. So you don't just have to be a police officer. You can just work in that arena. If you support the police station, if you're a dispatcher, I get to give you that. And I give back 30% to the program, 25% comes to the hero. My last hero, who just got the student loan debt, also got $2,000. And sometimes it does mean the difference between somebody being able to afford a home or not. In one case, this teacher would not have been able to afford her home without it. So that is a great program. In the school system, I'm looking for the janitors, the bus drivers, the teachers' assistants, people who work in the office, people who work in the cafeteria. If you work in there, I can do it, and it doesn't require a credit score. It only requires that you are a hero.
Does that go for broke parents?
It it goes for broke parents. Are you going to be a non-occupying co-borrower?
Yeah, I'm broke.
He's talking about the broke parents part.
That's right.
The broke parents part. Yeah. But it is a great program. So if you are in any of those heroes, for the military, if you work on the base, if you support the base, you can work in McDonald's. If it's on the base, I can help you, and I can give back so that you can have credit, and it can go towards your closing costs if you need it, or you get a rebate check back from the Homes for Heroes program. So I definitely wanted to make sure that I share that with you.
Man, that seems like I'm trying to figure out how I can be a hero. How do I support the hero? Don't tax dollars pay for military salaries. I support the heroes. I'm good. There it is.
And this is not just for buyers. This is for sellers too. So you get benefits throughout the system. So our title company gives you a credit. You get savings throughout. The lenders will generally give you a credit that support the program. It's great. It's great. So you really do save throughout the whole process.
Oh, I'm glad I got your number down here. You're going to get me out of this house. And that's in the DMV too? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's in the DMV too. I'm not sure how far across the country it goes, so I won't say this everywhere, but it is in the DMV. Another thing is which loan was I gonna talk to you about? Oh, we have a lot of HGTV watchers, right? So everybody wants to fix and flip, DIY their houses until we go in some of these houses and they're like, oh my God, can I get a gas mask? Because some of them are really, really disgusting.
Yes.
But they do have loans for that. Fix it. They have loans that will help you fix and flip, and they're investor programs. Again, these are like some of them are interest only. Some of them have no prepay. You can prepay it, things like that. So you also have rehabilitation loans that you can get anything under $35,000. You can go with what they call a 203K streamlined rehabilitation loan. So that's a FHA product designed for repairs and improvements. So if you are thinking about fixing and flipping, then that's an option for you.
Wow. Well, see, these are things that I'm sure most people haven't heard of, and I'm really glad that you have pointed these out, particularly those folks that are either in a primary or supporting role for some of the public safety agencies. I think that's and educational institutions. I think that's a tremendous program for people to be aware of.
It's one of my favorites. One of my favorites. And then you wanted to talk about reverse mortgages.
Yes.
Because that's a big deal for our seniors.
Yes. Can you talk about that? Because, as we talked off the air, that commercial comes on, it seems between like 9 in.m. and like 3 p.m. Every other commercial, when if you happen to be home during the day, you see the reverse mortgage. Oh, it's great. I took as much money out and I bought new TVs, cars, and I know that it can't be that good of a thing. It just seems too easy. So what is the real deal with that?
So it's much better now than it was. People understand it more, and it's been restructured a little bit. So here's what a reverse mortgage does. You have to be 62 or over, and you have to have quite a bit of equity in your house, okay? So let's just say you owe $200,000 in your house. Your house has to be worth at least $350,000 or more in appraised value. Okay, it has to be worth at least that to even start considering the banks to start considering a reverse mortgage. So what they do is you can pull out the money, right, and use it for whatever you want to do with the house, or you can use it as almost like a line of credit that you take out what you need as you need it. You do not have a mortgage, but here is the catch. All right, the bank owns your home. All right, so you are not making a mortgage payment, but once you pass, and that's why it's for people 62 or over, and they've made the requirements a little different because people are living longer. But once you pass, the home goes into a short sale. The bank owns it, and your family can keep the house, but they have to be in a position to purchase it. You have to have the credit score and be in a position to purchase it. Mm-hmm. And at the cost of what the person took out of the house plus interest and the current market value.
Wow.
And sometimes that house is upside down by that time, and then it goes into a short sale. Right. Other times, depending on how much they owed on the home, other times you're able to do it in a way that you're able to do it with a regular sale, still a bank-owned home at that point in time, because the bank pretty much takes the house. And that's a harsh way to say it, and most of our lenders are probably going to be calling me, blowing me up in a minute. But that's literally what happened. In layman's terms, the bank owns the home. You take the equity out. They give you an opportunity in your later years to not have to make a mortgage payment, use the equity in your home how you want. So it is a sweet deal. But if it's a family home or something that you wanted to leave to your family, and that's what it said in your will, or that's what it said in your trust, then you really need to. That's probably not the way to go. Or you need to make sure that that someone in your family is able to secure that home afterwards, and they have a short period of time to do that.
Now
I think it's 6 months.
Now you mentioned that it was, I guess, the family would be responsible, I guess, for the balance. So just again, for the sake of the layman's perspective, if again using that $300,000 model, the person just took out $10,000 against the home line of credit, if I'm using the right term, and they pass away, and there's now, so you have that $10,000 hanging out there. So would the family be required to pay the $10,000, or would they be mortgaging the value of the home plus the $10,000? How does that work?
Yes, it will be plus the $10,000. And because the bank's going to try to recoup what they gave up, right?
Right.
So they're going to recoup what's owed on the home plus the interest.
Wow.
So if your family wants to keep the home, then they can totally, buy it back from the bank. Go through the loan process and buy it back from the bank, and they'll give them time. They give you about 6 months, or you just let it go. If nobody's planning on keeping it, they can just let it go. And the person who got it is no longer here, so no one's credit is messed up, and your family member got to live in the house debt free, for the remainder of their last year.
And,
right.
Wow. Interesting.
Just went through that.
Yeah. Yep. So, and again, it's much better now than it was because people are more educated, and the program has restructured a little bit more so that it's not so harsh.
Yeah, because there was a point where they were putting people in reverse mortgages and giving them the one side where they didn't have to pay. They didn't have a mortgage. However, they did have to keep up their taxes and insurance.
That's correct, and you still do.
Right. And if they weren't able to do that, they would get them in these reverse mortgage situations, and they're thinking they're off scot-free because they don't have a mortgage, but yet they still don't have the means to pay the insurance or the taxes. Then they can still come after them. And they were at a time they were displacing people earlier on when it first started. That was big. And
yeah. So now it's truth in lending, and they really have to make sure that people understand all the aspects of it, and not make it seem like there's no payment at all for anything.
Right. Wow. Now, what happens? What happens if a person is when someone doesn't pass, but they just move on, they just move out of the house, they don't want the house, no one wants the house, and they come in, and I guess they do short sale or foreclosure or whatever, but it doesn't follow that person. It's from my understanding, it's like a non-recourse loan or something where they don't come after the person, but they just come get the property.
They do come get the property, but it would still be. I'm not sure if it's still on their credit because it's still there. Yeah, so it'll follow them, but they won't owe anything. It'll just be foreclosed on. But it will still be a bad mark on their, foreclosure on their credit because it's still in their name. And if they just decide to move on.
Right.
Interesting. Well, Avitra, again, this has been tremendous, and again, please give out your phone number one more time so that people can reach out to you with questions and or possibly use you as their person to help them sell or purchase a home.
I am happy to. I am totally happy to. I really enjoyed the conversation with you guys tonight. One of the things that's at the heart of the home team of Exit Landmark Realty is educating the consumer because we want people to know what they're getting into. We want them to enjoy their time. We want them to build wealth. It is at the center of our wheelhouse. So you can reach us at 301 850-6700.